Our voice in the world.
This is the English service of Radio Algeria International. It's time for the news.
In today's top stories, in the province of Bashar, President Abdelmajid Tebboune has inaugurated and launched strategic socio-economic projects reflecting the state's determination to achieve integrated development in the south of the country. UNRWA has announced that approximately 500,000 people have been newly displaced in the Gaza Strip over the past month due to repeated evacuation orders issued by the Israeli occupying forces. The Palestine Liberation Organization's Human Rights Department called for the formation of an independent international commission of inquiry to document the crimes committed by the Israeli occupation forces in the Gaza Strip. Hello and welcome to Radio Algeria International. I'm Jamal Samani. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, ended Thursday evening a work and inspection visit to the province of Bashar, where he inspected, inaugurated and launched strategic socio-economic projects reflecting the state's determination to achieve integrated development in the south of the country. The President of the Republic began his visit by inaugurating and commissioning the section of the Bashar-Abedla railway line covering a distance of 1,000 kilometers. Said Bougazi has the details.
After receiving a detailed technical briefing on this strategic project, which is part of the Bishar-Tindouf Garaj Bilet mega rail project, the President of the Republic kicked off the first journey from Abedla Station, an architectural jewel and a modern building equipped with all the necessary amenities to ensure the comfort of passengers. On this occasion, the President of the Republic paid tribute to all the workers and managers who had contributed to this project, which will enable to exploit the Garaj Bilet mine. The President of the Republic then proceeded to the commissioning of the pumping station Gitrani 2, one of the biggest projects in the President's program to improve water security in the province, and the Bishar wastewater treatment plant, two projects carried out by Algerian experts. The President of the Republic also laid the foundation stone for a project to produce iron ore concentrate and pellets in the Tumiat region in Bishar as part of the project to exploit the Garaj Bilet mine. The sports sector was not left out, with the President of the Republic launching a sports complex comprising several modern facilities, the first of its kind in southern Algeria. During this historic visit, the President of the Republic received a warm welcome by the notables and citizens of the province, who spontaneously went out to meet the President of the Republic, demonstrating the support of the region's children for the building of a strong and victorious state. As on his previous visits to the country's provinces, the President of the Republic met notables and representatives of the civil society in the province of Bishar, who affirmed that Algeria, with the strength of its president, its young people, its men and women, is victorious and sovereign in its decisions. For their part, the young people of this province expressed their support for the President of the Republic and their willingness to take up all the challenges. After listening to their concerns, the President of the Republic reiterated his commitment to improving the living conditions of citizens.
The inauguration of the section of the Bashar-Abedla railway line is a major achievement that, according to President Tebboune, will give Algeria the opportunity to join the ranks of emerging nations.
حلم بدأ يتحقق، ولا واحد كان يظن أن يوم من الأيام يكون فيه قطار في العبادلة ومحطة قطار في العبادلة ولا حماقير ولا في. إن شاء الله بالتوفيق، وإن شاء الله من خلال هذا المشروع نكون ربحت أداة اللي تسمح لنا باش المشاريع هذه نقوم بها مستقبلا بنفسنا، مساعدة الدول الصديقة معليش، ولكن تكون عندنا طاقات ذاتية لإنجاز مثل هذه المشاريع تاع السكة الحديدية 1000 كيلومتر فما فوق. الحمد لله اليوم راني نشوف ما يخص السكة الحديدية فيه كذلك محاولة تصنيع القاطرات، محاولة تصنيع لي فاغون دو مينري في عنابة وفي غيرها، هذه خطوات بتخلي الجزائر إن شاء الله نشتغلوا من أجل إدخال الجزائر وإدماج الجزائر في عالم دول ناشئة إن شاء الله.
The president said that it is a dream that's becoming true. He also said that hopefully through this project, Algeria has gained a tool that will allow her to carry out such projects on her own, stressing that the help of friendly countries is welcome, but capabilities to realize or to achieve such railway projects 1,000 kilometers and beyond must be acquired. He noted that there is an attempt to manufacture locomotives in Al-Annaba and elsewhere, saying that these steps will allow entering and integrating Algeria in the sphere of emerging countries. In another statement, President Tebboune confirmed the continued commitment to completing the railway network extension.
اللي كان حلم صبح حقيقة وإن شاء الله نزيدوا نواصلوا في هذا المنوال حتى نوصل نتمنى متفقين من العباد لا نزيد نكمل حتى الأضرار ومن أضرار إن شاء الله الباجي مختار ومن الجانب الشرقي حتى طمراست من المنيعة حتى طمراست وبالتالي الجيل تاعنا يكون أدى ما عليه بالنسبة لجيل الثورة هو حرر البلاد وإحنا نزيد نبنيها واللي يجوا من بعدنا يزيدوا يكملوا إن شاء الله. شكرا للجميع ومبروك على الجزائر ومبروك على المنطقة.
The president said that what was once a dream has now come true, adding that efforts will continue on the same path until extending the railway line from Abadla to Adrar to Port Baji Mukhtar and from the eastern part to Al-Mni'a and Tamnarasita. President Tebboune stressed that this generation has fulfilled its duty vis-à-vis the revolution's generation who liberated the country, hoping that the coming generation will carry it forward. He thanked all who contributed and congratulated Algeria and the region as well. Now, the Chinese ambassador to Algiers, Dong Guangli, has hailed Algeria's major role in resolving regional international issues, noting the convergence of the two countries' positions, notably with regard to resolving crises through dialogue and peaceful means. Speaking at a press conference at the Chinese embassy in Algiers, the ambassador said that no one is unaware of the dynamism of Algerian diplomacy and that its fruitful results, adding that China hails Algeria's major role in resolving regional and international issues. Now to the Middle East, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA, has announced that approximately 500,000 people have been newly displaced in the Gaza Strip over the past month due to repeated evacuation orders issued by Israeli occupying forces. In a statement shared on X, UNRWA said that the latest waves of displacement have confined Palestinians to less than one-third of Gaza's original territory. The remaining areas, according to the agency, are fragmented, unsafe, and barely livable. UNRWA stressed the dire humanitarian conditions in overcrowded shelters, describing the situation as catastrophic. The NGO Oxfam has warned that the Gaza Strip is living a nightmare after 8 weeks of a total siege imposed by the Zionist entity, claiming that this entity is spreading terror among the population of the Palestinian enclave. The Zionist entity has not allowed any aid or commercial products into the Gaza Strip since the 2nd of March. Many humanitarian agencies have been forced to suspend their activities. More details in this report.
Since the Zionist entity broke the ceasefire on 18th March, it has repeatedly issued orders for the forced displacement of civilians. Around 70% of the territory of the Gaza Strip is currently subject to displacement orders or has been declared a no-go zone, affecting more than 500,000 people. Many of them have been forced into inhospitable, dangerous and inaccessible areas. An Oxfam employee who was forced to move under fire twice in a week after the forced evacuation of Rafah said almost everything had been destroyed. She described the sound of gunfire at night and people crying in the street, not knowing where to go. Another Oxfam staff member described scenes worthy of a nightmare. People screaming for help from under piles of rubble, others desperately trying to escape with injured family members, and still others having to struggle every day to find food and drink. It's hard to explain just how terrible things are in Gaza at the moment. Our staff and partners are witnessing scenes of carnage and despair. People are terrified and fear for their lives as movement orders are forcing them without warning to move with everything they can carry, said Clémence Laguarda, head of Oxfam's humanitarian response in Gaza. According to this official, the restrictions imposed on internal movements also make it very difficult to carry out life-saving work. Oxfam points out that access to drinking water is extremely difficult. The distribution systems have been destroyed by bombardments or are no longer functioning since the Zionist entity cut off the last sources of electricity needed to power them.
The Department of Human Rights and Civil Society of the Palestine Liberation Organization (PLO) called for the formation of an independent international commission of inquiry to document the crimes committed by the Israeli occupation forces in the Gaza Strip and to bring the perpetrators to justice before the International Criminal Court. In a statement issued on Friday, the department stressed the importance of holding countries that support the occupation accountable for their direct involvement in war crimes and genocide. It also called for backing legal and humanitarian efforts aimed at prosecuting and bringing occupation leaders to justice for their crimes. The department called on the free people around the world to take urgent action by organizing mass demonstrations to break the silence, expose the moral complicity of Western governments, and advocate for the rights and dignity of the Palestinian people. The department expressed deep shock at the harrowing scenes captured by cameras and media outlets from outside the Indonesian hospital in northern Gaza, where the bodies of more than 78 civilians, mostly children, were recovered. The department said the horrifying images reflect the scale of the systematic atrocities being perpetrated by the Israeli occupation under the cover of international complicity and the disgraceful silence of the global community. Now to the Western Sahara fire. The Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of the Republic of South Africa, Ronald Lamola, has reaffirmed his country's unwavering support for the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination. Said Bougazi tells us more in this report.
The head of the South African diplomacy was speaking at a farewell meeting with the outgoing ambassador of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic to South Africa, Yeslam Baysat. Minister Ronald Lamola met the outgoing Sahrawi ambassador Yeslam Baysat to express gratitude for his commitment to strengthening fraternal and diplomatic ties during his tenure in South Africa, said a statement issued by the South African Department of International Relations and Cooperation. The South African Minister of International Relations congratulated Ambassador Yeslam Baysat on the occasion of his appointment as Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, reaffirming South Africa's unwavering support for the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination as the same source. South Africa remains unwavering in its call for an end to the illegal occupation of Western Sahara by Morocco and urges the African Union and the international community to act in solidarity with the Sahrawi cause, concludes the press release.
The former interim president of Tunisia, Fouad Mbaza, had died at the age of 91. The Tunisian press agency TAP reported the deceased was appointed interim president of the Tunisian Republic on the 15th of January 2011 under the Tunisian constitution until the Constituent Assembly elections were held on the 24th of July 2011. TAP reported, noting that before that he was president of the Chamber of Deputies for several consecutive years. He also served as Speaker of Parliament until his appointment as interim president of the Republic on the 15th of January 2011. A lack of funding and dwindling supplies are forcing the UN World Food Programme to suspend life-saving treatment for 650,000 malnourished women and children in Ethiopia by the end of the month. This week, the UN agency's country director Zlatan Milicic warn that in total 3.6 million of the most vulnerable people in Ethiopia stand to lose WFP food and nutrition assistance unless funding arrives urgently.
Over 10 million people in Ethiopia are acutely food insecure. This includes 3 million people displaced by conflict and extreme weather. Malnutrition rates are alarmingly high. In total, over 4 million pregnant women, breastfeeding women, and young children are in urgent need of treatment for malnutrition. Now, we are at the breaking point. We've been left no choice but suspend completely the treatment for 650,000 malnourished women and children simply because we've run out of commodities and funding. We are now operating with just about 50% of last year's funding.
That was the World Food Programme Country Director Zlatan Milicic. You're still listening to Radio Algeria International. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to this new edition of your weekly program, The Health Magazine. Today we will talk about physical exercise and workout and their benefits on one's health, physical and mental conditions. Regular physical activity can improve your muscle strength and boost your endurance. Exercise delivers oxygen and nutrients to your tissues and helps your cardiovascular system work more efficiently. And when your heart and lung health improve, you have more energy to tackle daily chores. Exercise is defined as any movement that makes your muscles work and requires your body to burn calories. There are many types of physical activity, including swimming, running, jogging, walking, and dancing, to name a few. Being active has been shown to have many health benefits, both physically and mentally. It may even help you live longer. Here are the top 9 ways regular exercise benefits your body and brain. First, it can make you feel happier. Exercise has been shown to improve your mood and decrease feelings of depression, anxiety, and stress. It produces changes in the parts of the brain that regulate stress and anxiety.